nasty guy. So in love I might make you puke. She's the apple of his eye. Sit right down, we're gonna give you the scoop with Ryan Pfeiffer and Lisa Doop. Shamma-lamma ding-dong loop-de-loop. This is the story of a guy named Mr. Boop.
You're listening to Being Mr. Boop, our punishment for shooting Alec Robbins. Tagline author Lisa. I have no idea what that means. And my name is Ryan Pfeiffer, and I am Mr. Boop.
My name is Cadence Quick, and I am Mr. Boop.
Because, speaking of Lisa, she's not here. Unfortunately, Lisa has gone to join a convent, and she has renounced the ways of Mr. Boop, so she is no longer able to join us.
Oh, no.
But, Cadence is here.
Hello.
Cadence, it's Friday, October 9th, 2020, and today we're reading the 179th ever Mr. Boop strip. What happens in today's Mr. Boop?
Well, the couch is back, or a couch is back anyway.
Yep, the couch is back. Couch chomping at its... there's 4 panels.
So, just a tiny bit of context before my second arc of strips.
Uh-huh.
It's been at least a year since I've read the entirety of this comic, and until like maybe 5 minutes ago, I did not know where we were at. So jumping right back into the Mr. Boop.
It's fine. You don't need any context.
All right.
Okay. Well, this is good actually because the strip should really work without context, right? If it's funny. If it's doing its job.
Yep.
So now you get to judge that properly.
So I might get some details wrong here, but if I remember correctly, Alec Robbins, also known as Mr. Boop.
Yeah, this is Mr. Boop now, by the way.
Right. Falls for someone who over time changes through his art.
Well, this is just Liz.
Okay.
We see Liz and Alec on a couch in panel 1 of 4, drawn realistically as always, as they always have been. No, not really.
Right. Yep.
As they always have been in Mr. Boop. Other than Alec's hands, which look like. I don't even know what those... You're an artist. What do those look like?
I don't know, but there's no palm there.
No.
The palm does not exist.
There's nice little throw pillows on the couch. I guess I thought there were like 4 throw pillows, but I guess those are probably the arms of the couch, right? Maybe.
Yeah, there's 2 throw pillows, and then I think the things on the side are the arms.
Yeah. There's a dividing line between like the 2 cushions.
Yeah.
And the two halves of the couch, and so on the right side is where Liz is sitting, and on the left side, Alec is sitting, and he's man-spreading also.
That is if you are facing forward, like you're one of the people sitting on the couch. From our perspective, Alec is on the right side.
Yes. Well, but okay.
Yeah.
She's on the... Wait, did I say right and left wrong?
If you're talking about from our perspective, yes, you did.
Oh my god. I don't know what's wrong with me. Liz is on the left side of the panel. I think, okay, you know what I think another thing is because right is the first thing that comes to my mind when I'm thinking left and right.
But reading order is left to right.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's why I often get it wrong also.
That's fair.
Because I'm just like, okay, I'll start with right, but you don't start with right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Liz, they both have their hands on their knees, but Liz's hands are together because she's not spreading like Alec is. Panel 2 is just a close-up of Liz, and she's kind of like... She's looking over at Alec in both panels, but we don't see Alec in panel 2 because it's just a close-up of Liz.
And gains a little bit of a smile this time.
Yeah,
and some blush.
Yeah, she's blushing a little. And I guess they weren't blushing in panel 1. Like we could just assume that maybe it wasn't drawn, but we can tell because from later on that if it was depicted, we would be able to see it. Or if they were blushing, it would be depicted rather. But her pupils are like to the. Well, I don't need to say her pupil position. She's glancing over at Alec. There's no dialogue, as there is throughout the entire strip. There's no dialogue.
Yes.
Panel 3. We like pan down to. Okay, imagine the flapper shot, which was panel 1. Sure, yeah, that was the flapper shot. We zoom into that shot, so we're in like the middle of the couch. But it's not the exact same shot, like, because their position has changed. Their knees have moved so that they're touching, like.
And same with their forearms.
Yeah, which are on their knees still.
The couch, I think, is implied to be in the background, but is not drawn.
Right. Like with the previous panel, there's no background depicted at all, because it's a close-up shot.
Their knees and pinkies make contact.
Yeah, they're... Liz's, well, which finger is that next to the pinky?
Ring?
Her ring finger and pinky touch Alec's pinky. I don't know. They have to be their legs have to be. Oh, I was gonna say which leg was which. So it's Liz's, from our perspective, right leg and Alec's left leg.
Yeah,
it'd be weird if
ones
it were
that are
other
near
legs.
the center of the first panel.
Yes.
They basically scoot closer to each other.
Yeah, maybe they scooted closer also. Well, it looks like they're the same distance apart. So their knees have to be like...
Okay,
their legs have to be really spread.
Where they're actually sitting
I guess
is sort of the same...
Okay.
But, like, where their knees have, like, moved towards is different.
Yeah. So, and I was going to say, I guess their legs have to be really spread, but maybe they're just in the process of scooting in this panel.
Yeah,
so
okay.
So, like, their legs are spread
they, like,
temporarily
I guess they moved one leg at a time.
They're moving. They spread their legs in the process of like moving one leg.
If you're like readjusting in your chair, you move one leg first.
They used one leg to gain momentum to the other part of the couch.
I tested a little bit.
I did too. Panel 4, back to the flapper shot, but they are now like shoulder to shoulder in the middle of the couch. We don't even see we see a little bit of the dividing line of the cushions, but not the back cushions, only the seat cushions. And they're like holding hands. It looks like Liz initiated. Yeah, Liz definitely initiated. Oh, also in the last panel there were like what are those? Neoflex. There were Neoflex above the pinky.
Is that what the like butterfly hearts are called? Sorry, I have to peek back at the slang guide.
It's not in the slang guide. This is a professional comics term.
Okay.
I believe. Actually, I'm sorry. This is not. This actually is something that's in our slang guide. It's not a Neoflect. They're
heart flies.
No, excite trikes. Oh. I'm talking about the previous panel. But there are heart flies in panel 4.
I see. Excite trikes.
Yes, there are, which usually excite trikes. So let me read the slang guide definition, which I don't usually do. But excite trikes are defined as they're just defined as never mind. There's bold neoflex. I thought it said like what the content. No, that doesn't. Well, usually they're like from a person, like a person is expressing something and excite trikes are coming off of them, which is why it's
I
excite
see.
trikes.
Like surprised or I'm about to tell you something. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
but this is just in this case it's used to just show. Actually, I guess it could still be like maybe it's showing Alex shock,
like his reaction.
Yeah.
To the first contact.
Yeah, I think I might have been reading it as like the contact of the pinky itself is like making that like making that whatever it is. I mean, it's an excite trike, whatever. Because it's not like a motion line. But yeah, that was in panel 3. In panel 4, so Liz's hand is on Alex's hand because she initiated, and both hands are on Alex's left knee. And Liz is just kind of like nonchalant, like glancing over at, I don't know, the TV. Maybe they're watching TV.
They're both blushing now, but Alec is definitely more...
He's sweating, too.
Yeah, he's sweating, he's got heart flies.
Because Liz is like trying to like play it off, but Alec is like not unprepared.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he has heart flies above his head because he's not as nonchalant about it, I guess. She does not have heart flies above her head, but I don't think we're supposed to read into that. He's just the one reacting, is all. Mm-hmm. So that's why he has heart flies above his head. No dialogue in this strip, but I guess it's somewhat eventful. It's just slow. This whole week, I'm just gonna spoil this whole week. It's just slow progression of this kind of thing, basically. I don't know why this is the week that Lisa left me to read. So now I have to go through this shit. I'm not interested in any of this. This is nothing. I'm glad you're here too. Is this a funny strip? I'll propose that to you. Is this a funny strip? I don't even have the...
Is that my question or is that the audience question?
Both, but I will say I don't even have the shadow synopsis because Lisa was the holder of the shadow synopses, so I don't even have that. But yeah, is this a funny strip?
Funny in the sense that Mr. Boop is funny, but I don't know if it's funny on its own.
That's kind of how a lot of these are these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas initially, now I feel like if Lisa were here, Lisa would say, no, it's funny because, etc., etc. I feel like a lot of the strips like this, and I don't think this used to be the case with the early strips, but they're just funny, like you said, because just the strip itself is funny, and it's like this is just part of the whole. Is part of a greater sum, or whatever. Is one part of a whole thing. But with the early strips, they definitely were like funny on their own. They had their own jokes.
They had the punchline structure.
Yeah. Even if the punchlines were not like traditional punchlines, they were like it's interesting because the punchlines were still like just the joke is that it's Mr. Boop a lot of the time. Like
yeah.
The joke is the comic itself, but it was still like a punchline format. Whereas this is kind of the same joke where it's just the comic is the joke, but there's no punchline. It's just story progression at this point. Well, I guess we are in the final arc, he's wrapping up the story.
Right.
I mean, I imagine when Garfield finally finishes, it's just gonna be all story based. Like that one Halloween arc. It's like that one Halloween arc wasn't really that funny, but it was all this one like little mini story.
Yeah, but the fact that it existed was cool.
Yes, exactly. And so when Garfield finally wraps up, it's all just gonna be like story based strips, and then maybe a few funny ones at the end after the climax. Maybe. Something like that. Yeah.
Does Garfield have it confirmed like this is actually gonna end at some point?
No, I'm mostly joking because Garfield will never end. Because Jim Davis is immortal.
Right.
If he were to die, I would hope it would end, but he never will.
Right.
Okay. Well, do you have anything else to say about this strip?
No, not really. I'm excited to get back into this final arc of Mr. Boop because I do remember it fondly.
There's not really much to say about this one. It kind of goes for all the strips this week. But yeah, there you go. That's the strip. You've been listening to Being Mr. Boop. What Mr. Boop opinions have y'all like this? You can visit the show's website at www.beingmrboop.com for our full catalog of episodes and to sign up to host a podcast. By the way, that tagline, guess who wrote that tagline? Lisa. She's still with us in spirit. For more updates, follow at Mr. Boop Pod on Twitter. I'm at KNME106 and at Semi-Sweet Stuffs for everything else I make.
I'm at Decade Decaf. You can go to decadedecaf.itch.io or my Bandcamp to play my games or listen to my music. Woo!
Do that. Good. Why haven't you done it already? Go, do it. Thank you. Thank you and good night. All right, you're back, and I hope you subscribe to Decade Decaf. That's a Tezande reference.
This podcast was brought to you by the Pitch Drop Podcast Network. Like what you just heard? Support the show by going to patreon.com/pitchdrop. And while you're at it, check out pitchdrop.net for more of this and other shows.